Okay, folks, so this is how the interview is going to be structured, okay? As you all know, there's about 13, 14 people in this Zoom meeting. So what we're going to do is ask one by one, ask you guys a few questions in regards to how you can benefit the thinker, what do you have to offer the thinker, and other basic questions like that. Folks, so our guest speaker is here, so he's going to give you an idea of why the thinker is such an important new initiative. So our guest speaker today is Sabona Isaac Barry. So if you'll go ahead, he's right here.
Super excited for you to join this initiative because as we know, there are many problems in this world, such as terrorism, poverty, discrimination against women, discrimination against children, and definitely discrimination against the poor. So, my big brother launched this newspaper to address all these problems, to fight all of these problems. Because if these problems are never addressed, never fought, they won't be fixed. They won't be solved. So, once again, I thank you for joining this initiative to create a world without terrorism, poverty, and discrimination. And a world where all 2.2 billion children fall in love with the math and science and are inspired to be the next Sir Isaac Newton or Albert Einstein.
Folks, so you just heard the guest speaker speak on why the thinker is an important new initiative. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the interviews. This is how it's going to work. First thing I'm going to ask you is, a few basic questions. And then I'll just ask you what we can do to improve the thinker, okay? So, there's no right or wrong answer. Don't feel nervous. Just give it your best and you'll be good. So let's see who's first on the list. Let's see, Shariful Hassan, would you like to begin first?
Yeah, of course. I'm here.
Okay.
Hey, what about you?
Yeah, I'm good. So, are you ready for the first question?
Inshallah. Please, carry on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, remember, there's no right or wrong answer. Let's go ahead and begin with the first question. And that is this, okay? Before you always begin an interview, you should begin with an opening statement. So give me an idea of who you are. Give me your biography. Who are you? What can you bring? Stuff like that.
Okay, I'm Shariful Hassan and I'm doing my graduation in National University in Bangladesh, and it's an affiliated university in Dhaka University, affiliated by Dhaka University. And of course, I'm doing my graduation with accounting, Department of Accounting, and I am for fourth year student. I did so much business and some kind of small and entrepreneurship business in my previous years. So I had quite good experience in kind of small and cottage business. So that's all. I didn't do any kind of official job. So that's it.
Sounds good. Thank you for the short bio, Hassan. Okay, so the first question I'm going to ask you is just a basic question, and that's why are you applying to the thinker?
Actually, I'm want to work with the thinkers. Actually, I'm wanna get some experience about some newspaper, and of course, I really appreciated the book named Love by Sabona Isaac, and that's all. And it's okay. That's all about. Actually, I want to work with the thinkers.
Oh, thank you. So, what do you think you can bring to the thinker?
Sorry?
what do you think you can bring to the thinker? Do you think you can bring some journalism? You can bring some news about economics, politics, math, science.
Okay. Okay. First of all, I'm doing some in my country as a student politics, and I know some idea about politics, and I have some much experience about photojournalism. So that's the why actually.
Okay, Hassan. So, thank you. That sounds really good. Now, the next thing I want to do is ask a very basic question, right? And I'm gonna come back to you with that. But thank you for that interview. That was very good. We're gonna move on to the next person.
Okay.
Good job, Hassan. Let's move on to the next person, and that's Mehdi. So, if you'd like to unmute your mic. Okay. So,
Hey, hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you.
So, why don't you give us a brief bio?
Okay, first of all, my name is Mehdi, you already know that. And I am a student of Computer Science and Engineering at City University, Bangladesh. And yeah, I part-time job in a news portal, Baranda Varta. And sometimes I write an article on my newspaper. It's sometimes politics, sometimes news, sometimes article. That's why science, because I am a science student. That's why I have some experience about this, and I already passed some training about journalism. That's why actually. Okay.
Oh, okay. That sounds very good. I'm looking at the application you submitted, and it says I like the science part of the website, and I would improve the religion and world politics part. So, so are you thinking about joining the politics and writing more about politics or religion?
Yeah. Because I'm variously many times I read politics news, paper news, and I think it's good for me. And I already passed religious education. That's why I'm good with religious newspaper. That's why I applied for those two types.
Okay. So that sounds good. In the meantime, can you tell us a little bit about what we can add to the thinker, how we can improve it, any ideas you have? They don't hear me.
Okay. So
Okay, sorry,
when they have to say
your
their
microphone is muted.
when they have to say their bio, you give them your bio as an example.
Okay.
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 This is my educational background. You ask them to break down their bio in four things. First,
I'm sorry, I can see you.
First education,
Uh-huh.
and then experience, and then why I apply,
Okay.
and then what can I do. So
education,
you're gonna
and what can I bring, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Why I apply is four things.
Okay.
Education, experience.
Okay, yeah.
So now you're gonna say I'm gonna be candidate, and I'm gonna just give you a sample.
Okay. So that's gonna be what I ask everyone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can see you. Still, I can see you.
Oh. Sorry. There was a interruption. Okay. So back to the question, and that is this. I'm gonna pretend like I'm applying to the thinker. Hassan and Mehdi, you guys have done a great job, but now I'm gonna pretend like I'm the one applying for a job, and I'm gonna show you how it's done. Okay? So my bio is gonna be in four parts: my education, my experience, and what I can bring to the thinker. Okay? So as you all know, I'm a high school student at Brooklyn Tech, which is a specialized high school, and I hope to apply to all 8 Ivy Leagues this summer. So that's for my educational experience. I'm majoring in mathematics, and hopefully I can write a bit about that in the thinker. Now, in terms of my actual experience, as I work in poverty alleviation because I've gone to India and Bangladesh, and I've studied how people live in the slums, and in fact I've written a book on it. So that's a critical part of my experience, and that's what I'll bring to the thinker as a writer. I can write about poverty, I can write about education, and I can write about how to make people's lives better. in developing countries. Okay, what can I bring to the thinker? Well, as I just told you, I can write about economics, I can write about education, and I can write about poverty reduction. Okay, so that's what I can bring to the thinker. That's my education and that's my experience. So
Okay.
Mehdi, Hassan, you guys have done a great job. So we're gonna move on to the next candidate, and that's Nori Alam. Good job, guys.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, Noor, would you like to give us your bio? Remember, your bio is in 4 parts, and that's education, experience, and what you can bring to the thinker. Strange. Okay, we'll go to the next person. I think he's back. Let me just wait for him. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next person. MD Isaik Hussain, would you like to begin, sir?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
This is MD Ishtiaq Hussain from.
I think your screen is frozen, sir. That's fine. We can move on to the next person if you're facing technical difficulties. Fahima, would you like to begin your bio?
Hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
From
Sorry.
National Institute of
I'm
Electrical Engineering. I just.
I think we're facing some technical difficulties. Was someone speaking? Oh, MD Hussain. Okay, so Fahima, we'll come back to you. I thought Mr. Hussain was experiencing difficulties, so sorry about that.
I'm sorry, I just lost my connection.
Okay. So, Mr. Hussain, can you give us your bio? Remember, your bio has to be made up your education, your experience, and what you can bring.
Yes, I just want to tell about that, but I just lost my connections. That's why here's an introduction. As I am running a foundation that about district children. I am think that in this editing positions, I can write about the unprivileged children of the world and in our country. And I also have a good knowledge on textile, about textile field. Just I was working in a textile company in Bexinco, like Bexinco. So I think it's the best positions for me to express my country and worldwide poverty and everything. I can show it to the other many peoples. And that's why I choose the thinker, and that is growing day by day. And it's a huge opportunity to show ourselves. That's it.
Wow, that sounds good, sir. So I just read your resume, and you've spoken a bit about how you're a textile engineer. So maybe you can write about
Yes.
that in Bangladesh. Okay.
Yes.
So thank you for your bio. We're gonna move on to Fahima. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
So Fahima, would you like to give us your bio?
Of course. First of all, I'm sorry to correct it. It's not Fahima, it's Fahmina.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Fahmina.
It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Okay. Let me introduce myself. I'm Fahmina Turk. I live in Chittagong in Bangladesh, and my educational background is I belong from the science group, but at present I'm doing my honors course on science group. I mean social science group. I am studying in sociology. Being a student of sociology, I have studied about our society, especially developing countries' society and my country's society. I have seen all the discrimination from my early age in my society. So if you ask about what can I bring in our thinker, so I can say in thinker, I don't want to bring something. I want to share something from a society, what I have learned, what I am seeing every day, and that's it. That can be the discrimination, that can be the education system, that can be the product poverty redemption. That's it. And I think I said it.
Wow, thank you. So, you said you're a student of sociology, so maybe you can share some stories about that. So, now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next stage. And let me first ask you,
Okay.
what school did you attend, Fahima? Sorry, Fahmina.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get your question. That was some breakdown in the internet.
Oh, what university did you attend?
I couldn't get your question.
Sorry, what university did you attend?
I'm sorry. I'm okay. Actually, I'm studying from a government college that is under the National University, the National University of Bangladesh.
Okay, sounds good. So thank you for your bio. We're gonna move on to the next person. Okay. So let's see
Okay.
who's next. Good job, Famna.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just checking the list to see who's next.
Okay. Should
let
I
me see.
mute? Should I mute that?
Sure. Yeah, I'll return to you
Okay.
when we're ready. Let's see.
Okay.
Noor E. Alam, sir, would you like to begin your bio?
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm Noor Alam. I'm from Narayanganj. I'm studying applied chemistry and chemical engineering in Islamic University. That's it.
So, what's your experience? What can you bring to the thinker?
I applied in journalism because beside my education, I written in Facebook about Bangladesh political reason, and besides some the lack of education poor student, and I am really interested to work there. Lack of education.
Okay, I see. In your application, I see you wrote that you want to write more about poor children and about their lack of education. So, you know, that's a very important thing when it comes to fighting poverty. So, yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. And of course, you guys can speak in Bangla. You can respond in Bangla. I'll be asking the questions in English. So if you want, you can respond in Bangla.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you, Nouri Alam. Do you have anything else to add, or should we move on?
I'm so sorry I am a little bit late to join this because of my poor network connection. I think I will start from here, I think.
Sorry, who was talking? I don't... Oh, Mr. Tonmoy.
Yes, I was a little bit late. I'm so sorry for that. But I want to continue from here.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Okay, so we just finished with Mr. Alam. So because you were late, let me just give you an idea of how you can phrase your response. So all you have to do is give us a little bio. So you have to tell us about your education, your experience, and what you can bring to the thinker. So if you'd like to go ahead and do that, then you can begin your bio.
Yeah. My name is Mohammad Nurul Tanmoy. I am a college student. You can say 11th grade or in the first year. I would like to be a member of this family, the thinker. It was a I can say news portal. I also work for a news portal through my brother. He was a mass communication and journalism student in Comilla University. Because of him, I also have a chance to work with a local news portal called NCG News. And I have a little bit experience of that. And through Bari's lab in Facebook, I found the Thinker, the news portal, and it is an international platform. And I would like to join this family and work with it. And I think I can communicate with people very well because I have do a lot of social work in my area in Comilla, Bangladesh. So I think I could be a very good participant, or you can say very good family member of this family. I'm looking forward to work with this family. That's it.
Okay,
Thank you,
thank you, Mr. Tonmoy. So I just looked at your application, and you talk about you're a social worker, and that might help you communicate with the people. So you can maybe write a little bit about those experiences working with people, because as you know, one of the main features of the Thinker is that we want to make people think about poverty reduction, about eradicating terrorism. So being a social worker is a very important skill to have. So and I see you wrote a little bit about the SAT. That's also important for education of children. So these are all good ideas. So thank you. Now we're gonna move on to the next stage. Let's see who our next candidate is. Good job, Tonmoy. So let me see who's next on our list. Okay, Mr. Ishti, would you like to give us your bio?
Okay, sir. Mr. Editor, thank you for giving me the floor. This is Ishtiaq Kul Islam Ishti. I'm from Bangladesh. At present, I'm working in Muscat, Oman as an assistant manager. Are you hearing me, sir?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Thank you.
I'm working as an assistant manager in Tanvir Travel and Tourism as a travel consultant. I have completed my graduation in political science from Bangladesh Open University. You know, that's a distance learning university, the only public distance learning university in Bangladesh. So I have a little knowledge in political science, that's my identity, and I belong from Bangladesh Open University. And the thing you told Mr. Editor that what kind of change, what kind of I can bring to your newspaper, that any type of change or suggestion. I want to add one thing, Mr. Editor, that's a newspaper is just like a time. It's always moving on. So anyone have not that much courage to add anything. A newspaper should cope up with the current situation. So I have experience in working in Bangladesh as a junior assistant teacher for social science in a secondary school, and at present I am working abroad that as an travel agent. So many of people here come, that's labor section people come here for taking airline ticketing. So we hear their situation in abroad, because they're coming as labor. Many of our country people, around 10 lakh people of Bangladesh are working in Oman and many other countries. So I hear their situation, their condition. They're because of their poverty, they have to come here with minimum wage. They have to work highest amount of time. The international time for working is around 8 hours, but they work for 12 or 13 hours, sir. So I have that knowledge, what bring them here to work for such a load with a loaded time. And another thing, I am working as a co-international affairs secretary in Bangladesh. As SAARC Human Rights Foundation, this is the largest human rights foundation of South Asia. I am the co-international affairs secretary of it for the larger Comilla branch. So I have known from very, very lower distance from the poor people, and especially the women, they're suffering for bribe. They're suffering from many kind of torture in their socio-economic life, and in their husband's house. They are facing various problems because only the main thing is the lacking of education and the poverty. So I think I have a knowledge. I have little knowledge I can add to add something to your newspaper. How to we can eradicate this kind of poverty from our society, because it's not a single man's task, so we all should move on to eradicate such kind of lacking of literacy. And the main thing is, sir, the most of the people of Bangladesh live in the village area, and they are vast behind of education. Okay, we know that literacy rate is increasing in Bangladesh, but not only literacy does not mean only one can write his name. The knowledge for changing something, the knowledge for standing in front of anything against odd thing, that's called education, I think. So that's the thing I want to add to you, and I think I can be a helping hand for you, Mr. Ejo. That's my introduction. I took a long time, I think.
No, thank you for the passionate biography. So, I heard a little bit about how you're passionate about the extreme working conditions of the people of Bangladesh, right? Many of them, as you said, live in villages. Many of them work long hours, longer than international labor hours allow. So, a lot of stuff like that we can write about, we can fix, and those are some really good ideas. Okay.
Yes, Mr. Ejo.
So why don't we move on to the next candidate, and let me see who that is. Let me. Okay. Mr. Bansud, namaskar. Would you like to begin your bio?
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
My name is Pradeep Bansode. I am working in Savitribai Phule Pune University, Pune, in India. I love to write on various topics, and I have written on many topics before. I have posted on my Facebook page. Some articles have been published in many newspapers in India. At present, there are many crises in India as well in the world, and there will be more crises, but each of these crises has been overcome the scientists of our world through various invitation. I would like to Suborno.
Yes.
Our Suborno is going to the smartest science of the future. He will be trusted by all nations of the world. Currently, I have done a film on Suborno, and it has been sent to many film festivals in India and abroad. The film is getting very good response. This film has created a special love for students in mathematics and science. I would love to write an article on various topics in the Thinker newspaper. If I was given the golden opportunity, and I would like strictly follow the rules and given by the editor and managing director of the Thinker newspaper.
Mr. Pradeep, thank you so much. You helped produce the movie about Suborno Isaac Bari, my brother. So thank you for the movie. We watched it at home, and it was amazing to watch it on the TV. So and congratulations on the awards and everything. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. And I would like to write on social issue and social science, education and politics.
Yeah, and education is very important, as I remember from our stay at Pune. That was
Yeah.
that was an amazing university, and I still remember it.
Yeah.
So thank you for the experience.
Welcome.
Oh, and my mom and dad said namaskar. So
Namaskar, sir and madam.
okay, Mr. Pradeep. So we are gonna move on to the next person.
Okay.
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Namaskar. Okay, so our next candidate, Mr. Who is it? Mr. Bairaji. Would you like to give us your bio?
Yes, I am I am Akash Bairagi from Bangladesh. I would like to work on a thing because I have experience to works on I have experience to works on news portal and also website in WordPress base. But I think I have many experience about videography and graphics, so that I can bring some new content for your website and also for your journalism.
Okay, sounds good, sir.
And
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, you can check my CV there. Also, I added my experience. I can easily work. I can freely work in graphics and also works in videography. So I can easily create many content in our countries. Basically, I work for street photography. Here I can send you some of my photography on chat box. Please check it. Just a second. I send it. You can check it.
Okay. Wow. Mr. Baraji. So that sounds very good. I see you're a graphic designer. I'm looking at your application, and it says, you worked for Rapid PR News, Nagar Songbad. So that sounds like some very good experience you have for the thinker. So
Yes, I also work for an international organization, AMI Global Bangla, for website developer in WordPress.
okay, sounds good. Yeah, WordPress is one of the most popular content management systems out there. So that's some valuable experience. Thank you.
Okay, welcome, sir.
Do you want to add anything else, or should we move on?
No, I have nothing to else.
Okay. So thank you for that. Let's move on to our next candidate, and let's see if we have anyone else. Oh yes, Mr. Ajoy, would you like to give us your bio?
Hi, sir. My name is Obaidul Chaudhary. You can call me Ajoy. Recently I'm doing my fellowship by UNESCO and Great Wall Fellowship Program in Communication, University of China. My major is International Communication and Journalism, and my research interest is international communication, cross-cultural communication, and new media analysis. So recently I'm staying in Beijing, the capital of China. About Thinker, my first focus point is that as a journalism student, I want to develop the mainstream communication part, such as the media literacy and the public communication, and more on the media ecology. And actually, I'm also working for different national and abroad newspaper as a freelance article writer. I try to write about the influential education, then the media ecology, and some other part.
Okay, Mr. Ajay, that sounds great. So you're a journalist student working abroad in Beijing, right? Sounds like we got frozen there. So Mr. Joy, thank you for your experiences.
Hi, sir.
Oh,
yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for the interruption.
Oh, no problem. So I was just clarifying. You're a journalist student working abroad in Beijing?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Are there any news projects or journalism projects you're working on?
Recently, I'm doing my paper on the new media and media ecological balance in Bangladesh. And I'm also focusing on the COVID-19 and after the pandemic condition in journalism.
Oh, okay. That sounds very interesting. Okay, thank you. That's an interesting bio, Mr. Joy. So we're gonna move on to the next candidate.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. So let's move on to the next person. Do we have anyone else? Yeah, seems like we have Mr. Sigdar. Mr. Sigdar, would you like to give us your bio? Perhaps you didn't hear. Mr. Sigdar, would you like to give us your bio?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Hi. If you want to respond in Bangla,
How are you?
that's
Sorry,
fine.
sir.
Oh, if you want to respond to my questions in Bangla or English, you can choose whatever you want. So.
Okay, sir. Can I speak in Bangla?
Sure.
আমি হচ্ছে দাউদুল করিম শিকদার। আমার বাড়ি হচ্ছে চট্টগ্রামে। আমি চট্টগ্রাম থেকে বলতেছি। আমি পড়াশোনা করছি চট্টগ্রাম বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ে। আমার বিভাগ হচ্ছে দর্শন, যেটা আমাদের এই যে টপিকস দ্য থিঙ্কার এর সাথে অনেকটা রিলেটেড। হ্যাঁ, আমরা থিঙ্কিং নিয়ে চিন্তা করি, থিঙ্কিং নিয়ে অনেক কিছু করি, থিঙ্কিং নিয়ে কাজ করি। দিস ইজ সাবজেক্ট রিলেটেড টপিকস। তো আমি পাশাপাশি একটা ম্যাটলাইফ আলিপুর, ম্যাটলাইফ ওয়ার্ল্ড ওয়াইড, এটাতে আমি ফিনান্সিয়াল অ্যাডভাইজার হিসেবে আছি। তো আমার যে আরো বিভিন্ন সোশ্যাল ওয়ার্কিং এ আমি অ্যাক্টিভিটিস আছে আমার। এছাড়া বিভিন্ন আমার 1 টাকার শিক্ষা, আমরা আমাদের ফ্রেন্ডরা সহ ক্যাম্পাসে মিলে, বিশ্ববিদ্যালয় ক্যাম্পাসে মিলে আমরা চট্টগ্রামে একটা 1 টাকার শিক্ষা করছি, যেটা পথ শিশু এবং শিশুদের আমরা ফ্রিতে শিক্ষার উপকরণ দিয়ে যাই। তো এছাড়া আমরা আরো বিভিন্ন ধরনের প্ল্যান নিয়ে কাজ করে যাচ্ছি। তো আমি এই কিছুদিন আগে আপনাদের এই পেজে আমি দাঁতিনকার একটা টপিক্সের উপরে দেখি অ্যাপ্লাই করার জন্য, তো সেখানে আমি অ্যাড করি। এখন আমি আমার নিজের সম্পর্কে এটুকু বলতে চাই, আমি একজন ফিলোসফির স্টুডেন্ট হিসেবে আমি চাই আপনাদের সাথে কাজ করতে, এইটুকু আর কি। আর যেহেতু আমি আমার নিজের দেশকে ভালোবাসি এবং আমি নিয়মিত আপনাদের ফলোয়ার, আপনার এবং সুবর্ণ আইজেক বাড়ি এবং স্যার রশিদুল বাড়ি সহ আপনাদের ফলোয়ার। I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. So that was a very interesting bio. So because you study philosophy, maybe you can add some stuff about that. Maybe you can write some stuff about that. So because you study philosophy, I would like to ask you a kind of question that has no right answer, and of course you can answer in Bangla. What do you think this picture is showing?
this picture is eye contact. Eye contact.
So this is a very interesting picture because there is no right answer, but that's a very good idea of what it could be. Okay, would you like to add anything else, Mr. Sikdar?
I can add to, আমি এটাও অ্যাড করতে পারি আমার এই যে এক্সট্রাঅর্ডিনারি যে কিছু আমি যে সোশ্যাল ওয়ার্কিং এবং পাশাপাশি হচ্ছে আমার একটা হচ্ছে আমার নিজেরই মনে হয় সেটা হচ্ছে আমার কাছে মোটিভেটেড করা কিংবা আরেকজনকে কিভাবে ইয়ে করতে হয় মোটিভেট করে আমার কোনো একটা কাজে ইউজ করতে হয় প্লাস হচ্ছে আমার কোনো কাউকে আমি খুব সহজে আমি বুঝতে পারি যে মানুষের ফিলসফি এবং সাইকোলজি এই বিষয়গুলো সম্পর্কে আমার খুব ভালো।
Okay, Mr. Sikdar, thank you for that bio. So I asked you this question because I'm actually gonna ask everyone this question because it just gives me an idea of how you think and what you may bring to the thinker. So let me pull up this picture right now. I'm gonna share it with everyone. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so everyone is looking at this picture, right? Everyone can see their faces. You can just nod. Okay, so everyone can see it. Good. So I'm just gonna give you 20 seconds to look at this picture, think about what it might mean, think about what it's trying to say, and then I'll come to every person and I'll ask them what they think about this picture. Okay, so just take a few seconds to look at it. And okay, let me begin with I finished with Mr. Sikdar, so let me begin with Ajoy. So Ajoy, what do you think about this? Ajoy,
this is a kind of ways of saying that those people there imagine the both surface. They imagine each other.
Yeah, maybe. Of course, there is no right answer, but your answer helps me see, how you can think, or it's almost like an IQ question. So that's a good idea. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm muted.
Yeah, how you interpret the word.
Okay.
So what is this picture? There are two. You give them hint.
Okay.
There are two ways you can explain this picture.
Okay.
Can you tell me what are the two ways?
Okay, I'm unmuting now. Okay, so Ajoy, good job. So let me just say, yeah, I'm muted. They can't hear me. But
So for example, if I ask you what is this, there is only one way you can interpret it. This is an apple.
Right.
No matter how you look at it.
Okay.
But if you look at this picture, there are two ways. And I'm asking you to tell me that two ways.
Okay. So this might be interesting. What I have here is an apple, and there's only one way to look at it, right? It's just an apple, okay? But the picture that you're looking at has two ways of looking at it, not just one. And that's just a hint of what those two ways might be. Someone was talking. But that's just a hint to give you an idea of what this picture might be of. So why don't we move on to Mr. Bairaji, and Mr. Bairaji, what do you think this picture is?
I think this picture is both each other trying to read their mind.
That's an interesting idea. Maybe that's right. Who knows? Let's move on to the next person. Something. Okay, that's weird. I can't see someone's name, but let me make it bigger. Oh God. Okay, Mr. Tormoy, would you what do you think this picture is?
I'm so sorry, but I am also using the Facebook Live, but I can't see the picture. I'm so sorry because of my net. I think that is happening. It is written there that Rashidul Bari has started screen sharing. I am seeing you right now, but I can't see the picture. I'm so sorry, but I can't really see.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Mr. Editor, to interrupt you. This is Ishtiak. May I answer, sir? Because I have gained that assumption. If you could give me the floor, if I did not disturb you.
Oh, sure. Would you like to tell us what this picture means?
Okay, sir. This is MD Ishtiakul Islam. Hello, sir. Do you get me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, sir. I am getting here two senses because I think it will be this thinking will be adjusted to your thinkers because I have that capability to think something in a depth way. Here, first of all, I am seeing two children. They are in dark. They are thinking. They are afraid of their future, their white future. They don't know what to do. That means the enlightened future can be given to them. That's the first thing I am getting. And the second thing, if I see the middle white in place, that's the king of chess. If you see it in a depth way, you see the king of chess. That means by these dark children, we can make them the king of the world if we treat them in a proper way. So this is my sense.
No, okay. So you think it looks like a chessboard, right?
The middle thing it is showing like a king of the chessboard.
Oh yeah, I never looked at it that way. So that's a very good idea. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if you can see this, but I have here a king right now, and even though it's not a white king, let me see if I have a white king to show you what Mr. Islam is talking about. So I think this is what he means when he's looking at the picture. And of course, there is no right answer. Maybe it's a king, maybe it's a chessboard, but that's a good interpretation. Okay, so thank you for that idea, and let's move on to the next person, Mr. Hassan. What do you think this picture is?
Yeah.
Oh, it's or Saiful. Oh, sorry. I am sorry.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Shariful Hassan. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm saying. Okay, so I'm thinking about this. If when I see this picture, I can see we all are same. Okay, so there is no racism in. I can see that we all are same in this picture. Actually, we are facing the new problem. No, actually, also there is a new problem in America, that is racism. And of course, this picture is like that. There is no racism in us. We all are same. There is no black or white, anything else. We all are same. We are just the creator of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. That's it.
Wow. So that's a good idea. There is no right answer, but we are all the same. That might be a good idea, because as you can see, the two people in the picture, they're the same color. So they might be the same. So maybe that's right. Maybe that's wrong. Who knows? But that's a good idea. And let's move on to the next person. Mr. Istarik Hussain, would you like to give us your idea?
Yes, I think this picture means nothing because I see it's the vessel that's carry clothes and anything else that's thing is white in color and all other is black. That creates two shade of men just looking each other. That's the illusion we get by our eyes. I think that's it.
Okay. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Can I give that a try?
Sorry, who is this?
This is Nushat Tabassum Orpa.
Oh, sure. Yes, Nushak. So, would you like to tell us?
What I can see is the white portion. If we interpret that, I can see a vase, like something like, and I can see the outline of two human faces. Their facing each other. So what I think is the vase that's white in color, it can be interpreted as a jar that can hold knowledge, and the two faces symbolize two people in dark, which means ignorance. So something like two people in dark, when they share their thoughts, and this comes up this vessel of knowledge, and as you can see, it's bottomless. So that can signify that our knowledge, or the way we see things, it's an endless abyss. And there are two sides to the vase, as you can see, like the two outlines make the complete vase. So if we remove one face, we can only see half of the vessel. So we need more human minds, and we need more perspectives to complete a thought, to give shape to an idea. So I think perspectives combine to give shape. We can objectify that when more people share their thoughts, inputs, and perspectives together. That's what I have to say.
Wow, that's a good idea, Miss Orpa. So maybe it's two people, maybe it's a vase, maybe it represents human knowledge requires everyone to come together. So that's a good idea. And actually, I see on my list I haven't asked for your bio. So can you give us your bio real quick?
So am I audible enough?
Yeah, I can hear.
So I'm Nushat Tabassum Orpa. I finished my high school graduation from India. I'm currently pursuing my major in computer science and engineering at North South University, Bangladesh. So I'm currently in my third semester. And yeah, that's all I have to say about my educational background. Is there anything else that you'd like to know about my educational background?
No, I'm just looking at your application, and so I can see you went to North South University, and you enjoy writing and editing articles. And yeah, so thank you for your bio. That was interesting interpretation.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
I would like to shed a little light on my experience. I am relatively new to this field. I have little experience though. I was a part of the editorial team of my school. So, and my team, we have presented quite a lot of write-ups, speeches for the inauguration ceremony. It's a little bit, but that's where my passion for editing and journalism nurtured, to be honest, frankly. And what I would like to add as an editor or a journalist to the Thinker is, I would like to add fresh perspectives. Oh, and before that, I would like to applaud you for such a wonderful initiative. I mean, the people of Bangladesh are getting a platform. No, we get very less opportunities, so hats off to you for taking such a wonderful initiative. So I would like to add fresh perspectives to this. I think writing and editing gives me the liberty as an author to give shape to my opinions, to give shape to my thoughts. And I think that's what the thinker needs, a fresh, an independent thinker. So I'm deadline oriented, I'm diligent, I put it all. Like if I'm given the chance, I won't let you down. Like I'll strive up to my best and live up to your expectations. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Orpa. So that sounds great. Every newspaper needs all kinds of perspectives, and you gave us an idea of what you might bring. So thank you.
You're welcome.
So why don't we move on to the next candidate? I think Mr. Tonmoy raised his hand. He might want to say something. about the picture?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have a little bit of internet problem. That is why firstly I can't see the picture. Right now I am seeing it. By seeing this picture, I can say a little bit different thing from others. That is talking all other day. I see a flower pot in the between of two faces. If we see only the white thing of this picture, we can figure out a flower pot. I think this might be another thing. This could be another way to explain this picture. But as we all know, this face is dedicated us to two little children. As we can say, they are just now a little pot of flower. Whatever we can bring in them, in this, in this, in these two children, they will make them progress. As we can say, as you can say, the white part of the picture, it is also contains with flower and without flower. As we can see that if it contains with flower, it will look very nice. Otherwise, it will just a flower pot without flower. And I think that is the thing. If little boys, they are with education, they enrich themselves. By them, they becoming a man, a human. But without the flower, without the education, without the knowledge, they are being a children. They will be remaining children. I'm so sorry. I think I figure out this picture, something like that, which I want to share.
Okay, so that sounds like a good interpretation, and of course there is no right answer, but you know, you talked about how children can become flowers through education, so that sounds like a good idea. Okay, so let's see if I didn't ask anyone this question. Sure. Famina, would you like to tell us what this is?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. According to me, this picture is there is no two children. There is only one child who is looking at the mirror. He is looking at himself. He is looking at himself, and he is trying to find something in himself. Like when somebody or when I do search in my mirror, that I talk to myself. This is me. That there are my problems. That is the result. I should solve it in that way. When we talk with our mirror, that there is a mirror and the children is looking at himself with maybe depression or whatever it is, but there is one children who is looking at the mirror, I think.
Wow, that's a good idea, and it does look like a mirror, maybe because the two faces look exactly the same and they look reflected. So that's a good idea, and thank you for your interpretation. Let's see if let's see if there's anyone else we can ask about this picture. Mr. Prodip, would you like to tell us what do you think? Mr. Prodip? Oh, I think he's frozen. So, yeah, it's okay if Mr. Prodip is frozen. We'll go ahead. I think Mr. Kumar raised his hand. So, would you like to tell us what this is?
Oh, sure. Thank you so much, Mr. Editor. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself with you. Here is Bijan Kumar, and I have graduated from the University of Rajshahi, Bangladesh, and I am an economics graduate. Besides graduation, I have already completed post-graduation or master's in economics, and after pursuing master's, I have joined to a university as a lecturer, and I have 3 years of teaching experience, as well as I am doing research in poverty alleviation, sustainable development, climate change, women empowerment, well-being, education, quality education, food security, remittance, and international migration. Besides, I am a columnist of 2 daily newspapers, Daily Asia News, it is an English newspaper, and the Daily Alokito Board, is Bengali newspaper. I am columnist of these two newspapers. Besides, I am the director of BK School of Research. I'd like to introduce a little bit about BK School of Research. BK School of Research is an youth-oriented research firm, especially undergraduate and the new fresh graduate are doing research here globally. And I am the editor of the Saptashudha journal, Saptashudha magazine, which is going to be published very soon in this June for the very first time. And I am working on two international climate change organizations, which is Youth Climate Change Group and Youth Climate Change Action. These two organizations, which is based on South Africa and Nigeria. Besides, I do photography and filmmaking. So I think all these qualifications and my experience, so I can say I am able to work with the thinker, and I can work with the thinker, and I think I am able to work with the thinker. Thank you so much. And I'd like to say about this picture. I think the white portion is a pillar, is a big pillar, and there are two children who are staying two sides of the pillar, and both of them are thinking about how to overcome this pillar. And especially this picture is saying how to overcome this hindrance. So we have a lot of hindrance in our society, and we are always try to overcome this hindrance. So I can symbolize this pillar as the hindrance of the society, and these two peoples are thinking about to overcome this hindrance.
Wow,
So, editor.
Thank you, Professor Kumar, for that interpretation. That sounds amazing. So I see from your application you are an economics graduate and professor at the Rabindranath University. So
Yeah.
and that's a good idea that maybe they are trying to overcome a hindrance. So
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's see if is there anyone else? Anyone else we have to ask the question to? I think we covered everyone. So if there is anyone I didn't ask the question to, I think Mr. Pradeep is frozen, so that's why I couldn't ask him. But if anyone else hasn't been asked, just raise your hand or let me know. Okay, so they don't hear me. So keep.
Okay, now you say I'm gonna interpret it,
Uh-huh.
and he created it, and this
Yeah.
is the true interpretation he gave us.
Uh-huh.
Now the journalism job is to seek the truth.
Okay.
All right, now you use that as our guideline.
Right.
How can we seek the truth?
Mm-hmm.
How can we report
Right.
truth?
Oh, but I'm not gonna go around asking them like how to seek the truth, right? I'll just say this.
No, and then you're gonna say how we then with this new understanding.
Yeah.
With this new understanding,
Yeah.
how this thing can help us seek the truth.
Ask all of them then? No, it's gonna
raise
take.
hand. Raise hand. If you want to add something, raise hand. You want to say.
Okay. So nobody raised their hand. So I guess I'll give you guys what an idea of what the picture is really trying to say. So let me first stop sharing the screen. Okay. So let's see spotlight. Okay. So everyone tried, or at least talked a little bit about what this picture might be saying, right? So this is actually a painting. It was created by Edgar Rubin. Okay, so what he tried to do is show that this picture has many possible interpretations, but there are two that he suggested. The first one is two black faces against a white background, and the second one is a white vase against a black background. Okay, so that's what he wanted people to see. But of course, what you see in your mind is a result of your own experiences in life. So, asking everyone what this picture might mean for them gives me an idea about, who you are, what you think, and how you think like a thinker, which is the goal of the newspaper. In fact, the goal of the newspaper is to seek the truth, right? What is this picture really trying to say? How can we find the truth from it? So this was kind of like a small exercise, if you will. And if anyone else has anything to add, maybe you can raise your hand and I'll get to you. So does anyone want to add anything before we touch off? Oh, and Mr. Pradeep seems to be back on camera. So Mr. Pradeep, what do you think about this picture?
Hello?
Yeah.
I think this picture is our two pages on one page. Two children want to kindness with each other.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So, the beautiful thing about this picture is there is no right answer. Everyone has their own idea of what it means. Some of you have told me it looks like a chess piece. Some of you told me it looks like a flower. So these are some amazing ideas, and it really gives us a lesson, right? The lesson is that we always have to go out and find the truth and report and write about the truth so everyone knows about it. So I want to thank everyone for coming to today's interview. Everyone did a great job, and I got a chance to hear all of your ideas. So before we go off, however, I'd like to note one last thing, and that is this. Do we have one? No. So everyone, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for all your hard work and effort. My dad will let you know if you've been accepted into the Thinker, and thank you all for trying. You all did amazing, and we hope to see you in the future. Thank you. Adios.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Editor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Editor.
Namaskar and assalamu alaikum.
Subscribe to Bari Science Lab to fall in love with math and science, especially programming.